To discuss the nighttime attack, let's welcome onto the programme now Iranian-American academic and political analyst Professor Syed Mohammed Marandi in Tehran. Thank you for coming on the programme. Professor, the stated aim of this assault was to cripple Iran's nuclear facilities. Has Israel's goal been achieved?
No, and also they have been targeting civilians across the country, but in particular in Tehran. And women and children have been murdered. But if you listen to Western media, you would not even know that such a thing has happened. They've been bombing apartment blocks, apartment buildings, and whole families have been slaughtered in the dead of night. And it was unprovoked. It's an act of aggression. But again, when you listen to Western media, they portray it as if it's normal. But of course, anything that the Israeli regime does for them is normal. Genocide is normal. The Holocaust in Gaza is normal. The genocidal strikes on Lebanon are normal. The daily murders that we see in the West Bank and in Lebanon at the hands of the Israeli regime, all of them are normal to the West, and they don't even report them. So it's not surprising for us that they ignore the fact that children have been slaughtered in Tehran and that women have been murdered. But the Iranians will retaliate, and the retaliation will be very severe.
What reaction do you expect? We are hearing reports already of masses of drones on their way to strike Israel. Could that ramp up even further?
Yes, I think that the Iranians are determined to make sure that the Israeli regime regrets carrying out these attacks. And sadly, though, we see that the United States is using air bases and its other bases in the Persian Gulf region, in Qatar, in the Emirates, in Bahrain, in Turkey. It's using its bases in Iraq, and it's using Jordanian airspace to assist the Israelis, both in its offensive acts, as well as they're using all of these to protect the Israeli regime. It's quite ironic that the countries of the region are assisting the Israelis in this manner, but there's no doubt that the Iranian reaction will be devastating to the regime. Netanyahu, he is pursuing his own interests, and I think he's not even pursuing the interests of the regime. His interests are separate from those of ordinary Zionists, and he needs war, he needs escalation, as we saw elsewhere, and he needs it in Iran as well in order to remain in power. But I think that this time he will face consequences unlike what he's faced before.
What is your analysis of the Americans, the Trump administration's essential ignorance when it comes to this attack? We saw the Secretary of State saying we did not know about this, yet we have many US bases in neighboring Iraq being emptied over the last number of days. Do you see a truth in what is coming from the Trump team?
No, absolutely not. The regime in Washington is deeply involved in these attacks. The Israeli regime cannot carry out the genocide in Gaza without full U.S. support. It's like saying that the Ukrainians carried out the strike on strategic bombers without the Western intelligence agencies knowing about it. The U.S. and the Israelis are far too close, and it's quite clear that they knew what was happening, and they assisted them. The Israeli regime cannot even continue a war in Gaza without their full assistance, day and night assistance, weapons, ammunition, aid, political cover, and so on.